Hello, hello. I am back. Back with another stream. We've got to figure this meta out because everything's changed. The number of decks you're allowed to play has. Well, the number is weird because I suspect that the number of decks you can play now is less. I think you can probably. There are less things you can do. But they're different. They're different. You can play R plus now. Maybe you should play R plus. It seems like it might be really, really good. Yesterday, I played some R plus. No, not yesterday. Last stream. Hey, Janice. And I played two different versions. I played a kill list and I played a scoring list. And while I don't think either of them are like close to optimal, good morning from America, or good morning America. I played two lists. One of them was scoring, one of them was kill, and I got a great win rate with them. Maybe partially because people haven't teched for things, but I don't really think that's true. I think it's more just like it's a new thing. People got to learn how to play against it. But also maybe it's just really good. Not clear what's going to be better. This scoring list intrigued me a lot. I found it a lot of like strategic fun to play. It was a lot like Epiphany, but just like you get free money, which is, I guess, not really a new archetype, but a very svelte package which you can do things with. The kill list, I played into one just earlier that was running a Cloud Eater, and I think actually Cloud Eater maybe makes a lot of sense actually, because if they run into Cloud Eater as your first piece of ice and you can afford to res it, it's like the game is over. You get an 8 credit Cloud Eater. They have to take tags, and then they can't access whatever you've got there because they don't know if it's a trap or whatever. They're buried forever. They lose their hand. They lose their board. Because like one thing about this is that you can kind of face check. Like you can face check a ping. The bad thing about ping happens whether or not you've got the breaker, so it's whatever. You can face check. There's a funhouse in this one. You can face check funhouse. That's fine. What type of archetype are we doing for kill? I think we have the same general idea for it. So the easiest thing to do is you run some Mindscapings, you run some End of the Lines, you just flood them with tags, and then you just play whatever you've got in your hand. You can use Mindscaping for tempo, so it's kind of flexible, and End of the Line is just like a one card, very efficient thing. And I was on a pivot. I think a pivot makes a lot of sense as well in case you don't just happen to have all the pieces in your 40 card deck. There are technically other things you could do. Right, like let's whip up an idea here. If I go to, I gotta go to all because I need all of them here. I just wish like there's this period where the ban list is announced, but it's not technically the ban list is out time, and it's just annoying to me because like. It's such a long time, and we don't know when it's going to come onto JNet or whatever. I know, I'm complaining. So there's an idea that you could just do unleash, and like this is your tag punishment. But then this requires you to be doing like really weird stuff. You got to run a lot of ice you don't necessarily want to run and things like that. I think pivot is more consistent than trying to get Gaslight to survive. Yeah, I'm not a huge Gaslight believer at the best of times. I think the card's pretty average. A 40 card deck shouldn't need Gaslight, really. The point of running the 40 card lists, or 44 card lists, I should say, is that you don't have to do all that. So if I was doing Unleash, what ice do I have in faction that I care about at all? Not much is the answer. MBN Ice famously doesn't do anything, and this is why no one plays MBN unless they absolutely have to. One of the subroutines that might do something is... Where's the new one? Seraph has a pretty good sub that can return something to hand, I think? No, not Seraph. Seraph has 2 net, that's not very much. What's the new one? Lethe? I can't even see it, that's how bad it is. Yeah, you could do this. And you could either get something back, which is pretty average, or you could add run a card to the hand, which is fine, not great. Seraph has 2 damage as a subroutine. That's something. I really don't. There's like a lot of value to res a Seraph for free, but I mean, it's not great. So Revenant also has 2 damage as a subroutine. But like, I don't think we're going to need to import some ice, basically, if we're going to make this work. But we can do that. We can totally do that. For example, Cloud Eater is actually only 3 inf. So we could totally just shove some in. Now, how much is Microweb? Microweb is only 2. And then we can use the last inf for something else. Infection options for Unleash are quite bad. Yeah, truly Ambient Ice just does not do anything. It's a bit of a disaster. And technically we don't need 3 Unleashes, but we'll rock it for now. Any 1 influence ice that does a lot? There's like Hammer, which can trash a resource or piece of hardware, which can actually be pretty clutch. It can kill Essa, for instance. It can get rid of a Hermie, you can get rid of a Twinning. I think that's legit. Oh, so this is 2 inf. I've only got 1 inf. There's not many 1 inf cards, but Retribution is probably like, if I need to spend this influence, it'll probably be Retribution. And then I can run stuff like, I can run 1 Seraph. I can run some Doom Scrolls. I can run, I don't really want Unsmiling as well. This is too many sentries. This one might be just too much high cost ice anyway. Sorry, not Seraph. I don't want Seraph. I want Lethe because it seems better than Seraph, I think. Could be wrong about that. I can run Sams if I'm doing big ice, so that's something. Which makes my agenda points not look so bad. And then what if I do like next big things? How many of these do I need for an agenda suite? So I need 18 points. I could run a 1-pointer. I could get rid of one of these next big things or send a message, but I think the send a message is probably pretty good. And then we can run like 2 crypto caches or something like that. Or orbitals. Yeah, okay, we can do orbitals. Let's do some orbitals. We only need 2 orbitals. Because these give tags. They're not better than tomorrow's headline, but they give tags / do damage, and that's something. It could be a good unleash for program destruction and Trojan against Ari for 1 for Boomy. Boomy's okay. I think we've already got a fair few sentries that we're happy with. You write the Boomy as 1 inf, and that's pretty tempting actually. But maybe it's just better than Retribution. But no, we've already got our, we want our Unleash targets to be hitting hard, I think. We don't want to just throw out Unleash. Do you think Congratulations is worth playing just for the money in decks that don't care about protecting anything? Probably not. Congratulations. When the runner passes this ice, gain 1 credit. Gain 2 credits, the runner gains a credit. So you could gain 3 credits off this 1 cost ice. It's okay. They do gain a credit, and we do care about them having credits, because if they have credits, they can clear tags more easily. Speaking of tags, Oppo. I mean, it's not a terrible idea, because we really don't need to keep the runner out that much. We're going to put 3 Oppos in the deck. We probably want some Beholds. Probably want 2 Beholds-ish in the deck. Maybe some Predictives, just because we need some money. We probably need Holy Man, so we have an alternate scoring plan? Question mark? I'm not even sure if that's true, but seems right. Some Hollow Men. Now we need more money. We definitely need more money. So we can find Your Digital Life. 3 of these is money. Virtual Service Agent, yeah, we absolutely need some more code gates, so VSA makes sense. Very cheap way to give tags against early runs, just useful. Don't really want Funhouse. 3 spins we still need. We've got 3 more card slots to work with if we're doing this Unleash idea. Are we allowed to do like 3 Microweb and then 1 Cloud Eater? Probably not, right? Unfortunately, barriers don't exist for MBM. Nihilo Agent is not decent. Nihilo Agent is a disastrously bad. Load-bearing Regolith? The answer is probably load-bearing Regolith because we can't guarantee that we can, you know, have them float a tag. That's asking a lot. Another thing we could do is like a maze. Maybe 1 Amaze is like a tasty little treat so they don't know whether it's a maze or Hollow Man. And then we can go down to 2 Regoliths. This is not running public access plaza, and I think that's fine. We don't need long-term econ like that. We just need tag spam mostly. Okay, is this good? I don't know. I'm a little bit suspect about this now, but we'll figure it out. We got some stuff they must trash. We got the Hollow Man and things like that. All right, let's give it a go. So this is like an alternative way to kill. I don't know why you wouldn't play 2 public access, just like slots. We've got to cut things if we're running public access plaza. It's a pretty good card. I think, you know, it's actually pretty great. I could cut predictives for it, but I don't think we're doing assets like that. Also, I don't think it's that easy for us to get to threat 2. We don't score early. We can try this. I'm not totally optimistic for it, but why not give it a jam, right? Also, more news. I have booked my Worlds tickets. Not to the actual tournament, but to Montreal and to... and I've got my accommodation sorted as well. So if anyone has any recommendations of stuff to do, I'm hoping that I will get Worlds tickets. They did sell out, but I'm on the wait list, so I assume that I will, because I know that the venue that it's in is huge. And if it's not, I'm sure I can figure out some like volunteering or commentating or something like that. Someone will want me, right? New Corp deck. Bam. Casual. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Don't be a stranger if you are at Worlds. Especially if you're there ahead of time, because I really don't know what I'm going to be doing for like 2 weeks. I booked ahead of time, so I'm going to have some time to kill there. So the plan is just to flood the runner with tags until they die by way of Unleash. That's what we're going to go for. Ideally, the Unleash doubles as like, I can either kill you with it, or I can also just use it for tempo, and there's my big expensive ice, and then I can score behind it maybe. But really, I think we need to be killing if we're going to be winning. What's annoying is that there's not great ways for us to get back our Unleashes if any of them disappear for whatever reason, or if we just don't roll them. And the rest of our tag punishment is very mild. So we need things to line up for us more than if we were just running end of the line. So I think this might not be great, but we'll be optimistic. We've got to be casual because of reasons. My keyboard is in UK mode when I have a US keyboard. New band. We'll give it a go. Someone will no-show. Can I just grab a ticket if there's a no-show? I don't know how that works. I assume that so they want the slot to be filled. But I wouldn't have booked unless I had a pretty high confidence that I would find a way to get a ticket. Unleash for Tempo was my favorite part of Sanjay's Hugo Cabrera list. I was going to try put it in RH to see if it works, but damn, the melee span is rough. I think basically all of the cool stuff that you could do in Meleus is not going to work when you try and put it into R plus. Sorry, not R plus, RH. You can try, like you should try, but I think that part of the article was basically a copium. No one's going to play RH. It's not great. There's nothing you can do out of it that is particularly strong. Nowhere near as strong as Meleus. Everything Meleus was doing is dead. It's gone. Vic is going to make it a lot harder to tag Storm, but whatever. Mulligan. I want more money and stuff. Okay. My hand is terrible. My hand is maybe saved. I could ping tomorrow's headline, or I could just... Because we don't really care if they transfer us. Let me clear my business man a little bit. Get one of those. RH, Relax War Firepower. Yeah, RH is just nothing interesting going for it. It can give you a credit a turn, and you should play the deck that most wants a credit a turn. I don't know, some kind of slow glacialist running Papaya Negations. You could play that. It would not be the worst thing in the world. It's not going to be great, though. I'm just going to push this tomorrow's headline because it's actually pretty good tempo. So let's... If they transfer us, whatever. We get a... They give us a tag, we gain credits. They immediately clean getaway and they hit the same. I'm not going to raise the ping because it doesn't give the tag. Okay, so that's by far worst case scenario. I could advance this a little bit so that I can trash the DreamNet afterwards. This makes sense to me. We're fine, though. We are fine. This is also fine. We only lose a credit off this. It's like not that big of a deal. They gain a lot of money, but we can work with it. Oh wow, they're just eating tags. They're going to be very, very tagged. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to raise my amaze. Okay, so they're extremely, extremely tagged. They're 4 tags deep. Let's see what we can do. Start with a free Rashida. Okay, we've found nothing that does anything. Oh dear. I guess a YDL for money? I don't really think I need this Vegalith. They very much got away with it. I could have trashed the DreamNet, I guess, but I need to move faster, I feel. Let's just push an agenda. Probably they can't boomerang and get in. Another boomerang? No way. Let's get this agenda out of here. This has gone extremely poorly. This doesn't seem safe. It's not safe, but there's nothing safe. I've got to win before they can steal 2 more points. I'm on a very, very short timer. I don't think we're sticking a tag for Retribution, so that can go. Okay, now I can maybe play a little slower, now that I've got rid of the agenda, and ice my centrals, make it slightly more annoying to get DreamNet. See, we got this, it like scored before Hermes. Now, microweb subroutines are pretty abysmal right now, so let's just hope they don't run that. Yeah, see, having to put together two different pieces in order to do what End of the Line does with Unleash is something that I think is a privilege MeleeSU can afford and no one else can do. Let's see what spin draws us. Anything? Lethe is something? Lethe's something? I'm happy just to like triple click this Regolith next turn. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, we had one turn of Wiggleboom, I think, where they had loads of tags, and now we are gonna get cooked. I'll res this, I think, because like it costs them 3 actually to break it, which is real money, and they've only got 2 cheds per turn. It's not great, but it is what it is. Let's chuck this in server 1 and see if they bite. They're gonna run it early if they are running it, but running them through a Lethe is something, because even if you fully break this, it's still somewhat taxing. Are they gonna just put a card on top of Archives? There's basically nothing that I would really want to put on top of Archives. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hit encounter. Yeah, I will put a Predictive on top, a Regolith on top. Okay. Can we win ganked in this, maybe? I don't know. Let's... shower some things in places. If they have to run through this Lethe again, it's pretty expensive. And if they let me put something on top now, I can put the Behold back. Do I want to draw cards? Probably not. What are they getting back? Daily cast? Sure, that's not great value. But yeah, this server is never holding, right? We can never push this orbital out. they can just see 2 here and it's GG. Okay, few things we need to fix. If we're gonna do this unleash idea, we need more teeth to it. Yeah. Okay, that one stunk. Full stop. But we can fix this. Maybe we don't have enough ice. Code gates don't do anything, right? NBN cards don't do anything, dude. Does this just not work? I think this just doesn't work. Chat, any genius ideas to save this? 2 more ice. Lethe is not unique. Seraph is like... If we're running Seraph though, our deck is just bad, right? Mesni to save us with just like ice that does something, because Mesni actually does do something. I could chuck 2 Mesnis in there and pretend like that's gonna help. We are not on Seamless either. Seamless would be really nice. Seamless would be really nice. But it's not a Seamless deck. We need to cut 2 cards. And it can't be done. We can't cut 2 cards. Anyone see a card that is not like whatever? The Doom Scrolls don't do anything. We don't need them. We're doing big ice. We don't need medium-sized efficient ice. Oh, yeah. This is diabolical. Ben suggesting public trail. That's not a terrible idea, actually, public trail. But, like, the thing is, if we're doing public trail, why aren't we just doing public trail end of the line? Why are we doing public trail unleash? I guess for tempo, like, turn 2, you just public trail unleash a Lethe on R&D, and then your R&D is basically safe for, like, until it matters, and then it's not. Amaze can be cut. Amaze can maybe be cut. Amaze is like, if they can steal our agendas, we already lose. It's a very simple to get to 7 points against this deck. Maybe we could do Let Them Dreams. I think Let Them Dreams could be pretty good in our plus. Why are we doing Unleash? Just seeing if it works. It probably doesn't. You know, it's possible that we just never see Unleash again, because the only thing that it was good in was Melius U. There should be an international day of mourning for Melius U. Genuinely gone too soon. We don't even know what the sickest Melius U list was. We didn't have the time to find out. Okay, Seb, this will be an interesting one. Last time I went against Seb, they were floating almost 20 tags, and chat thought that they would get to 20, and they didn't. We have ice for HQ. We actually do need a... do we need ice HQ? Nah, we don't super need to. But like, this hand is not good. Doesn't do anything. Well. Oof! Holy crap! Whatever, we're predictive to draw 3. We don't need this next big thing. You can steal it, and then we can save our hand. Hannah is here. It's not great. Go on. Go on, mate. Have a bite. When I put the Holy Man in here, it's for sure gonna be. Oh. Do they know? We're so cooked. Oh, we can land these tags if they want it. Doesn't fucking do anything. Oh man, like we have nothing. Goodness me. Okay, but this is where it all begins. Boom, one tag. -1 credit, by the way. Draw 2 cards to save me, please. Yes. This is not great tempo, but, you know, we can only do so much. They can remove this making money. Oh, my. Oh, they popped their Hannah. They did not have to pop their Hannah. Okay. This was not a challenging thing for them to interact with, it turns out. This did nothing. Oh, God. Oh, and you had a... We're doing this if they want to run and trash it. I think it costs them an amount of money. Well, we can't let them in here. I think. I think I want to gain 2. Maybe I want to draw 2 so I can get towards... They didn't have a fellow, which is good. Amazon HQ could be a lot of value in the long run. You're right about that. More agendas. This is what I needed, actually. No, I can live in server 1. And then I can click this. I don't think I need a behold. Keep it chill. We win these. This is a gemmable hand. This is a certified gemmable hand. We also have nothing to unleash, by the way. Even if we stick a tag, what do we possibly do with it? Literally doesn't do anything. Holy crap, our hand is so bad. But we gotta do something. Hi Peter, how you doing? What's their plan here? They're gonna Hannah run this. Gonna lose a credit. They're gonna take a tag. We're gonna draw 2 cards to try and find... We found everything. We've had every agenda. I'm losing it. This is crazy. We've got a fucking full house, dude. What's going on? And that's not even talking about this gentleman over here. Oh, goodness me. And they don't even need to stick these tags. Oh, my. Okay. A window. Please hold. Load-bearing orbital superiority. Please hold. this is not going well, guys. But maybe there's a maybe there's something here. We could like score this out and then like unleash the Cloud Eater and then like deal 3 damage or like blow up their board a little bit. Maybe there's something here. Seb doesn't really access archives basically ever. Because when they want to run archives, they want to deal with privileged access. So they don't usually see face downs on archives. It's just a weird thing to do. They want to blow up this ping with their crew? Is that what you're using? No, there's no way. Okay. That works, that's fine. Maybe they have a Manuel in hand and we just lose. Do we want to gain 2 credits or draw 2? I think we need to draw 2 cards to save our hand. Do we want to res this ping? It's not a great time to res the ping because it doesn't do anything and the tag is not totally trivial because this orbital could blow them up if they float too many tags. And if they land this transfer, they've got a triple clear. Let's do it. Maybe they do triple clear. Five points. If they run archives, we just lose. Okay, so they're popping the Hannah to clear these tags. They won. Don't know why they thought to check this here. Oh, they had a chain reaction? Sure, that's interesting. Okay, well, look, that was variance. Okay, there's nothing we can do. We didn't draw any spin doctors. We have the spin doctors in here, by the way. Like, there's 44 cards in the deck. We have the 3 spin doctors. Did we draw every agenda? No, we didn't draw every agenda because we didn't draw this orbital. We drew every other agenda. So we drew, what, 16 points in the top, like, 20? That was insane. We're just going to run it back. It was a jammable hand. Much to be learned. Oh wow, that's why you watch and don't play, right, guys? Let's just do it again. Let's not talk about it. I think it's just bad. I think the deck is just bad. The BM chain reaction. Chain reaction in Seb is neat when you got like a very temporary board. Probably more playable now that there's no Melius, because Melius would... I mean, Melius has the best targets because they have heavy ice, but running all those centrals is just not realistic, especially with all the damage that you should expect. Just jam more. I jammed very aggressively. Kinda. About as aggressively as my hand could possibly have allowed. I could have jammed multiple agendas, that's true. I'm sure Hannah won't cause an issue with this strategy. Also do no oppos, I think? So all agendas, no oppos. That was bad. A bad showing, but like, hey, any deck could run a bunch of bad agendas and draw them all, right? Even a great deck could run a bunch of bad agendas and draw them all. People were playing Lotus Haze. Is this anything? Okay. Someone get in. Someone fight my awesome Unleash R+. While they do that, let's think about a proper list. Because I think this one needs a little bit more money. This Epiphany list. I think we gotta figure out how to put 2 Vegalith in here. Or a Vegalith even. Like 1 Vegalith is actually a lot of Vegalith for this deck. Because you don't need a lot of money to score out. I like FUT, and I would love to find a way to make FUT work. I think that's going to be a lot of influence, and you might not draw on there. Did you all have a peek at the new Euro banknote proposals? New Euro banknote proposals. 1 second. As the #1 Euro fan, let's okay, is this hand awesome? It has no money in it. It has some ice. We're considering swapping Sam for MBT to fix hands. Well, like in theory, this should be a great deck for Sam. And next big thing is pretty average, and we don't want to score it, and we don't want it to get stolen particularly either. Issue is, well, we shouldn't be drawing this many agendas. We have Spin Doctor. We don't need the next big things, ideally. Let's find some money. Ugh. Ooh. Do you guys know how to draw properly? Any draws? I don't even know how to play this. I could draw 3 with predictive. I'm losing it. What's going on? I Cloudito on HQ. And then money. And then I had just no tempo. Just making nothing happen. But I guess it plays around burner. I can just cope and say that. Just overdraw and shuffle back. I mean, yeah, but like I gotta do something else. Sure, they can't just like spin dock, draw, and then just let them do whatever they want. I guess maybe it's fine. I'm always impatient. I want to like jam. Maybe it's good zen to just mulligan, spin dock, res, draw, overdraw, back to you, opponent. Feels a bit like conceding, but technically you're just 1 turn behind for the rest of the game. Okay, we've been blown out, but they're gonna miss lat. No, they found Nuka. They're not even gonna miss lat. I think we lost, but that could have been Behold, and we would have still probably lost, but who knows. Yeah. Okay, that's a card. I can jam behind that. Let's look like we're assets. But the secret is, we're not assets. we're not anything, really, is the fact of it. Okay, this is the last one we're doing with this. The Game Dragon on the propeller is literally all they'll need, because we only have 1 barrier and it's ping, because it's the only barrier they've ever printed for MBN. But hey, at least I didn't spend influence on all these spin doctors. These are just on the house. Anikam, okay, very good. Anikam clean getaway is a good start. Behold. 1 time. Whatever. We get an on-tempo tomorrow's headline. I'll gain 2 credits, I think. It's like a tiny, weeny little off-world office. Capacitor Slander. Capacitor, yeah, it's Capacitor Slander. Have you seen that card? It's so bad. Paywall, dude. Come on. Like, people weren't not playing MBN because the decks were bad. Like, they were good MBN decks, actually. People weren't playing it because it's not fun. Is that rude to say? Like, it's just... It feels awkward and annoying and slow and weird to play. And I think everyone just wants to have fun and play solid, delightful decks like Meleus and whatnot. Okay. They've played a Penrose, which is a big issue for us because this breaks our stuff very efficiently. Except they haven't got stealth just yet, so we have a window where they can't break things. They can break VSA for free, basically, because the breaking doesn't require stealth. So this is a big issue with our current hand. So we can save it. We can trash the Spin Doctor to res the Spin Doctor and see what we find. We find our friends. We find good cards. We have never drawn a Hollow Man. Well, we have, but not in a useful way. Oracle Think Tank might be worth playing. Yeah, maybe, but then our slots are just looking horrendous. But yeah, probably is worth playing. I've been booted. I'm back. I could just like hedge fund a Maze Orbital or something like that and just see if they want to interact. I can't follow up off that though, so it's really relying on them messing up pretty badly. And it's behind a VSA, which doesn't make much sense. I'm going to draw a card. Microweb could do something, because they can't currently break Microweb. I'm going to play this so I don't have to spend the credit. You're spending the credit doesn't really matter. Get rid of the next big thing because it's not happening. I can spin it back. Oracle and Amaze are particularly devious. Yeah, Oracle Think Tank plus Amaze is genuinely like miserable. Miserable. It's like, yeah, it's... The thing is, the thing you got to contend with is like, what if they don't do anything? Because currently against MBN, I feel like plan A's don't do anything. Because like just with the way that people are building their decks at the moment, just sit back. It's really hard to score. It's really hard to like get to 7 points doing an editorial division. Yeah, like, and the counterplay to that is just like, don't touch it. Like, just don't worry about it too much. Let it happen, and then when they actually try and win, that's when you actually have to stop them. But until they've gone that long process to like scoring 3-1s with no text, it's really hard to actually score to 7 points. Okay, their money is not great. They're being very greedy here. Now, this Microweb doesn't do anything at all, which is a bit of an issue. I wish I was playing Meleus here. It's interesting that, like, this is a broken ID. It's so far above rate that, like, it's hard to imagine it being around forever. It won't be. Which is exactly what Meleus you got banned for. Okay, like, could res Microweb, which is 8. That puts me to 6. Then this lets me install an ice, which does nothing. Res an ice, which I could do VSA, but it doesn't do anything. I could not res Cloud Eater. So that doesn't do anything, and then do nothing. Okay. I'm just not resing anything. They can turn on my upper if they want to. Meleus, you had cards. Yeah, like you could do so much cool stuff. Afterimage is sweet. I can stealth that, seems like fun. I could advance this, and then I could score next turn, but that seems bad. I'm just going to play a small upper. And draw 2 cards, gain 2 credits. I need credits quite badly. R plus doesn't have cards, that's the difference. Yeah, so our like Meleus was an insanely good ID with like pretty decent cards. I don't think the cards that MLSU were like playing were especially good. A lot of their best stuff was influence. But the ID made it so that you could play them. Was and like maybe MBN is kind of the same, but one of them gets banned and one of them gets unbanned because the world is not fair. Air check. Oh, we're just doing shit, hey? Yeah, sure, you can air check me. Okay, if I microweb here, that's 8, and then this is going to be another 8, which I can afford. They can break some of this. They can 1 to boost and then full break if they really want to. It's actually pretty trivial for them to do so. And they can also break this VSA. Okay, so we kind of got messed up here. This is like the best air check I've ever seen. I think this does not do anything if I res this microweb. I think it's 1 to get to strength and 4 for subs. But they don't even need to break all the subs. I'm not resing it. This is the best air check I've ever seen, ever. Granted, overclock would have been better, but not like the same, but whatever. Like this one's for R&D, so it's like kind of was better than an overclock. Oh my gosh, I'm good at this game. I can't even res this. Let's do this. Let's do 1. I want this Hollow Man back in. Give me something here. Let me just draw me 2 cards. Get me out of here. I think it is a bit hard for them to keep up with our Oppo threats. That's the only thing we have going for us, which makes me want to shuffle in Oppos. So I'm going to shuffle in this Send a Message and this Oppo. And if we draw the Sam, we can just cry. Actually, it's not even online. What am I doing? Let's gain... They can bypass this Lethe, but they do take a tag if they do it. I guess server 3, we need a little more resilience. Maybe Lethe just like only lives on R&D, but... Losing to stealth lad. And it's not particularly close. I have to just double advance this, right, and just hope. This is an issue. Do we raise this left there? We must, right? This is the taxing one. And if we give them a tag, which they do not have to allow us to do at all. But if not, we can put an oppo back on top. Yeah, ice does not do anything. These cards are so bad. Oh, they are taking the tag. Okay, so we can gain the 2 creds. And that way when we res Myco Web, we have subroutines. Not that they're great, but like it's going to cost them an amount of money. I think we've lost this. We could probably fold, but yeah, we got nothing. Sorry. Oh man. It didn't cost them anything. It's all so bad. Okay, this just is this is the last game we're doing of this. This doesn't make any sense. No, I will not pay 5 to give the runner 2 tags, though that would be very nice. Give me a Regolith. Yeah, we're pretty cooked, eh? That's a good draw. Not clear what we're going to do about it, but it's a good draw. Okay, maybe they can hit a behold on centrals and just lose somehow? We're never killing them either. And this is... Elionas is really just built to be annoying early game and enable flood. It doesn't even enable flood. Drafter enables flood. Let's stack our ping, so maybe something weird happens. We still haven't found Hollow Man, so there's no way for us to score these Sams in a way that is not extremely telegraphed. I may have the worst draw order of all time. I also may be the worst deck builder of all time. I think these are both worth considering. We can res Cloud Eater. And they can bypass it for 2. This is not what I put the card in the deck to do. But if we don't res it, why do we put it in the deck at all? It's just 3 net damage if they're smart about it. 3 unleashed deck seems like too many unleashed. Yeah, but we need to draw them eventually. Like if we don't draw them, we don't do anything. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this deck is terrible. This might be the worst attempt at a deck build that I've ever done for anything. Any deck doctor I've had worse ideas than this, and we're completely deleting it. I'm being bullied by my draws, and the deck contains loads of bad cards. Oh yeah, it's an MVN deck. I don't really like. That's not my fault. The deck is going to contain bad cards no matter what I build. Also, apparently, Worlds tickets just restocked. Let me check my emails. Maybe that's for after the stream. Okay. We're moving on. We're moving past that brief mistake by completely deleting all the records and forgetting it ever happened. This list was interesting. This one I want to revisit. Does it have to be an Unleashed deck? Doesn't have to be any deck anymore. It's in the ether now. This one I wanted you to slot a Regolith in somewhere, so I've put this in. But like these wage workers are really cool. It's still doing the BAU Vlad grid idea. It's just kind of a fun idea. It's not doing hedge funds. It's also not doing YDLs. Maybe it should be doing hedge funds, but I'm going to see whether we can keep it quite assety at the moment. Despite the fact not a lot of the assets give us money, it's kind of occasionally we do need to click for a credit. But that's okay, is the idea. We can occasionally click for a credit and everything else can be sweet. Do we have enough? Well, this is 45 cards. Edit this. We currently don't need 2 business as usual, probably. This is too many. The Federal's pretty mediocre too. But I like the extra draw that it gives us. We don't need 3 magistrates. We definitely need 2 magistrates. Leave. Get me out of here. Casual. Let's save some more replays. It's not my cloud data. Why banknote ratings? Okay, hold on, let me have a look at these banknotes. Future Euro banknote proposals from 3 days ago. How did this slip me by? Holy! I accept your use of cookies, of course. Of course. You can have my cookies. Surge, and we got Moosely Hat. So this hand is pretty gas. I love this ice. This is good. This is fine. This is fine. This is bad, but whatever. Keep. Love it. Send it. Speaking of Worlds, are you taking any more students since they're trying to not stink it up at Worlds this year? Yeah, send me a DM on Discord. I'm doing coaching all the time. I've got another one right after this stream. I'm going to have to end at, in like, what's the time now? I'm going to end in like an hour and 20 minutes to do a coaching session with a new person who I haven't taught before. So yeah, just literally send me a ping on Discord and we'll organize a time and a date. I can make availability for anything really. Okay, I think VSA on HQ is pretty good because I think the remote is more likely to get the face check, and I would love to get a drafter face check. PAP doesn't deserve an ice. Let's install and res a Spin Doctor unres. They're not going to want to trash it. That's bad. This, maybe this is just on R&D, but I feel like it should also be a new, it could probably be a new remote. We can't, yeah, we're an asset deck, we can't be icing R&D early. It's just not good to do that. Like, they're going to have great targets for their run events, and they will have a lot of run events. This is fine, this is cool. They lose a credit and take a tag, and we get to probably gain 2 or draw 2 is pretty cool. But gain 2 is quite flexible. Oh, Ironfoot. Okay, sorry. I don't know. If someone uses multiple usernames, then it's not going to piece together in my mind. Yeah, no, let's do it. Why not? Banknotes. Whoa. Holy, that does not look like a banknote. Transfer. Huh? I mean, yeah, it works. I'm not sure the math on this is as good as you probably want it to be. Another transfer. Oh, we're sinking tags. They take the crypto crash. I wanted the crypto crash. Should I just score out this embedded? If I had the crypto crash, I could have just shipmented it and they would have gone down to 9 credits, which would be so much better. Okay, so they've drawn 3 transfers in, 2 transfers in the opening? I thought that was 3. Am I crazy? That was just double transfer. Double transfer in the open is pretty good. There are 5 tags. They're going to be tagged next turn. I can use this to fetch an operation. I'm on predictors, right? No. I'm on BAUs, IP enforcement, and shipments. So I'm not going to use it because I don't really want shipment here. But this does make them clear the tags pretty damn soon because otherwise they're going to be in trouble. We are very, very poor. Obviously we could have predicted R&D here, but just trust your R&D. If you don't trust your R&D, you don't trust yourself. Okay, Carmen comes down as a pain. I'm going to check this in a new remote because it doesn't need to be ice. I'm not going to search for an operation again. This one doesn't need to be ice because if they trash it, I'm like totally fine with that. Maybe next time I start putting together the this is a nice way to get a hedge fund. So yeah, sure gamble I suppose. I like icing R&D against Music Hat to make Carpe Diem worse. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why it's like good to do, but I need this so that I can push like a cohort or something if I draw it. I'm going to gain 2 credits. They have the 3rd transfer. Okay, so they are never getting out of tag hell. Probably? Maybe that's not true. I'm going to get shipment back. And then I can get back IP enforcement if they don't trash the IP enforcement, which off the top of R&D, which is pretty expensive to do. Then I'm going to take this crypto crash and score it with the You can trash this, that's fine. They won't try to force me to shuffle. I will not be baited. Cupio's fine. It's only the first spin dock, I'll be happy to shuffle back some shipments. I could do VSA on R&D. Yes, I will get back a IP enforcement. Well, I'll put an IP enforcement to the top. This is cool. Now, even if they could do this, so now they have to run through here and trash the IP enforcement off the top. Otherwise, I take and score the crypto crash from them. This is powerful. And I'm going to draw here so that they can't even trash it. Whew. Okay, they take an agenda anyway, that's annoying. I could credit Oppo instead, but I don't really need to Oppo. IP enforcement cost me 2 to play, which is annoying. So I would need to credit IP shipment. I could Vlad grid shipment Oppo or something like that. No, it's bad. I think I just crypto crash them. I could remastered edition them, but I think their credit total does maybe matter. No, 11 tags. Probably doesn't matter. How do I get money back? Making them have less money seems decent at least. Let's remove 2 tags. Let's grab this crypto crash. New emote. And we'll crypto them. A bigger picture would not be a crazy include in the deck, actually. Because it would go crazy here. Now, how do we squeeze out the rest of this? This Starlit Night is pretty good right now. It's got 11 subroutines on it. That's money. Let's check a Magistrate down in server 2. I think this is pretty scary for them. Don't know if I would raise this drafter, but... yeah, I don't think I do. It only cost them 4? If they spend 4, 4 is actually a lot, and if they don't do it, they're screwed. Yeah, this is bad breakpoints for Karma, which means they can't even afford to trash the Magistrate. Let's do a Vlad grid down. So you can see I'm clicking for credits a lot, but it kind of doesn't matter. a good sure gamble. Money's back. I'm probably going to want to maybe get rid of this Magistrate. Sankan sure. Okay, so they can run centrals now with twinning. Obviously I can trash this stuff. That's pretty expensive to do for me. I could score stuff. No, I can't really score. I could trash the twinning. Let's just take it slow, trash the twinning. I don't need the second Vlad. I don't need Oppo, really. Oppo's free, but I don't actually think they're ever clearing tags. Which means Starlit Night is like basically unbreakable, which is awesome. Credit Starlit Night, Tomorrow's Headline or something like that would be pretty cool. This is fun. It's tight. They are drowning in tags, but I have gone through all my tag punishment because I sifted through the deck for it. You ready for Katorga transfer? This Magistrate could be huge too. Their liquid credits are looking pretty low after being crypto crashed. I think I missed my off-wall lovers, by the way. Finality, sure. You're going to spend 3 on these? Okay, yeah, spends 3 to take 2 from Touchstone, 1 from Chesver. Okay. A reasonable 3 to spend. Reprising, okay, nice. Reprising the Drafter? The Magistrate. To run HQ. Sure. Siege 1. Okay, I can rearrange things now so I don't draw more agendas. I can keep them 2 down. I want the embedded 2 down. Wage workers is cool, but business as usual means I can score this Tomorrow's Headline very cheaply. I will not draw a card. Actually, do I want to gain credits? I can't Magistrate proc. I don't need Magistrate. I'm going to score. I will score. Because I can Sir 5. Business as usual. Business as usual. 2 credits. All right, it's getting interesting. The reason I felt okay doing that play, and I could have scored out the embedded with a counter, but we don't really have any operations left that I care about. This is a good Carpe Diem. I hate Carpe Diem, man. If they steal the agenda here, it's really bad for us. I'm glad we got another twinning when we did, though. That was a patient play, which I think was right. They might be on like jail breaks and stuff. Cohort wage workers embedded. Okay, let's do. I want cohort, I think. No, do not draw the card. I would love to have 3 credits so I can res the Starlit Knight, which they can't afford to ever get through. And it will just protect everything that I do. But I can't do that. What I can do is install Magistrate, install Cohort, gain a credit, and then I guaranteed lose this embedded reporting. Because I can just take something and then run HQ. I can't stop them from taking things. I could cohort credit, I could credit, put the Starlet, I'd still 1 off. I can't stop them taking time with the carp. It does cost an amount of money, but with Chesva it's not that much. I can res the Magistrate to make that somewhat expensive. There's an embedded 2 down that I can fetch if they leave the Federal up. So as long as I can score with that, I'm okay. And I have a face down for Cohort, so I can make that happen as long as I credit Cohort Magistrate. I could credit Cohort, might be better. But next turn, yeah, I need this. This line kind of relies on the Cohort sticking, because if I go up 1 with Cohort, I can afford to credit Starlit Knight embedded. Okay, this is just seeing 1, so it's fine. And we know what one it is. It's seeing wage workers. No biggie. God, there's a lot of money in these Moosey Hat decks. Hello, number 4. Oh, this game is wild. Overclocking over there to get the Cohort. Interesting. Okay. And sweep HQ? No, gonna go get the Magistrate, okay. Okay. What now? I could install this wage workers. That seems bad. I could credit, install this Starlit Knight, which is unbreakable. They're just going to keep running out, because there's an agenda on top of R&D, which is a big problem. Because his cup could then win. I could Starlit Knight in front of HQ or R&D and just click 2 and whatever server I pick is safe. So hard to make money. So this is what I mean. I need a little touch more money. Maybe I do need the hedges. Well, I don't want them just to have the embedded on top. So I'm just going to do this and set up. If they can't take both the embeddeds next turn, I could just Starlit, embedded, and then I don't think they can get to the credit totals they would need. They would need to be able to break a 10. And this might have an agenda on top, but probably not. Yeah, we got slowed down a lot also by all 3 transfers landing. Okay. They can technically break this, but it costs them all their money. I could put this in front of the drafter instead, so that if they spend 10 breaking it, then they would also need to go through drafter. Sure. It costs me an extra credit, but that's fine. Oops. So it's going to be credit, Starlit, server 2, embedded server 2. Go. And if they sweep HQ and get it with the cut, which is likely, and then bounce the embedded, we very likely lose. Maybe I could have played around Hermes better here. I could like just ice HQ with the Starlit. Oh, they trash a cohort off the top. Interesting. I guess it's fine. Their money they think doesn't really matter, but it kind of does for Starlit purposes. They really want the bounce here. It's unlikely. We kind of know what they found it. That was like the only one. There were 2 in their 15. Come on. Using both the BAU to score the headline was an overextension. Maybe it put us down a credit rather than up credits. Maybe we should have just hardlined into the Starlit Knight win con. They found both of them? That's all of them. Can I not res all? Let me res all. Let me reveal my hand. Oh, they've got pending triggers, so we're not allowed to click things. Whew, that was a close game. Yeah, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe they could have just like swept me at any time. I would have loved to have drawn like the last Spin Doctor, because I drew them all in my like opening hand, kind of. Actually, no, I do want. No, that was the other game. What happened this game? I never used a Spin Doctor, so I never got to shuffle back my scoring operations, because I just never do the other two. I gotta draw better, is what we're learning. But also, I need a little bit more money here. So I'm gonna chuck in like 2 hedge funds or 3 hedge funds. Credit single advanced grid is a better score. It's really expensive. Like, the reason why this going out tomorrow's headline was okay is because it gave me 2 credits. Then and there it gave me 2 credits, which was not bad. This is void later than this. So what things look like is I'm clicking for credits, I'm desperate for money. I check down a magistrate. This drafter is pretty expensive to break. I wasn't able to get them to run through it very many times. And like, maybe I just shouldn't have been trying to tax their money in a meaningful way, because like our centrals are so poorly iced. So I'm at 4 credits. Ticking along. Okay, so I've got this hand. This is the hand that we're talking about. I could have... Here I just take 3. No, I decided not to do that. I use 1. Technically, I don't need to use the second one. That's true. But, well, no, I do need to, because I have... After I raise the Vlad grid, I have no credits. So I'm on 3 credits here. 3 clicks. I res this. Install. Yeah, I can't. I would need to do a different turn. So this would have had to wait a turn, which maybe is fine because we were both going pretty slow. But sitting here with 2 agendas in hand feels a bit silly. And at least this one like gave me more like as much money as it took. Why do I feel like I needed to score there? Because I don't have any other way to win. If I don't get these agendas out of my hand, they're gonna get stolen. Because I was think about my other lines, right? I got 3 credits. How do I win this game? I either score to 7 or they score to 7, whichever happens first. There's a few different ways I could score to 7 realistically. I could have drawn another spin and shuffled in these shipments. And that way, as long as I draw some, like, the shipments and I don't lose these agendas, we're good to go. But look at how little time I have to get this, to make this happen. R&D and HQ are going to get checked every single turn. So if I do anything aside from scoring an agenda here, I'm going to have 2 agendas and 3 other cards in hand, no matter basically however I play it, right? Once they start floating tags, never installing Starlet left a lot of value in your hand. Yeah, I definitely needed to figure out a way to get Starlet down. This was probably a skill issue, because this was just sitting in my hand, not doing anything. I think a tiny bit more money would mean that I could actually play this, because I never had the chance to actually play it where on a turn where I could also res it. Yeah, this was an awkward game. I look at my credit total, so I need a bit more money. I never drew the Regolith. 1 Regolith would have been huge. Any money would have been nice, but I need some money full stop. So let's do that. Let's quickly jump into Deck Builder, Epiphany at home, edit. If Offworld was legal, everything would be awesome and fun. But they hate me, so it's not going to happen. Instead of that, we're going to swap. Do we need 3 VSAs? Maybe we need 2 VSAs. How are we doing this? Are these grids good? Like the BAU grid idea is maybe a bit clunky and we should just be doing off the table with wage workers, but I think if it's good enough for Epiphany, it's good enough for me. The federal fundraising was actually really nice. Just as a one of it is really good. These doom scrolls are a little bit average, but they're still ice and we can't really cut down. We could try it. We'll just cut this grid Vlad idea. We instead just do a little bit more money. We do two hedge funds, we need a bit more scoring now. We've got 2 influence to work with. Good 2 influence cards. Drafter again? Maybe Drafter's not it. Hammer's okay. We're already maxed out on cohorts. You cut shipment, not grid? Oh, did I? Whoops. Two cards, 2 influence. We could just float influence, I guess. Or we could just like an extra drafter, -1 doom scroll. And then we make some more 3-offs. We go 3 Pap, 3 or 2 Vegalith. 45 cards now. 2 Vegalith. What's better, Pap or Vegalith? One of these. Oh, we could just do 2 and 2. We're 44 cards. This all works out. Full influence. 2 drafters. Save. Drafter's pretty cool. Drafter's pretty cool. So two remaster for 2 Let Them Dreams. That is a bad idea, unfortunately, because our agenda suite doesn't support it. But there's possibly an agenda suite. Like, I think the Let Them Dream is insanely good in R+. But currently we're on all 2 pointers, so they wouldn't really do very much. The remasters are actually not bad. This seems jammable. Done. Call it a day. 4 of these. Call me in the morning. Wake implant. Trashes borrowed goods. This is the power of borrowed goods. Is that if you trash it off Wake implant, it's kind of sick. I'm going to go up money here, by the way. That works? Hold on. Is this one says take a tag and the corp loses $3. That's 1 clause. JNet does this wrong. Okay, JNet is the broken one. Let's see if they fix their credit totals. Yeah, okay. Let's see if they do this. I was hoping they would just manually fix it with me, but I think we may need to. Okay, cool. Now I get to... I'm going to raise this to make sure I have good options for my cohort. They didn't trash my cohort, which is awesome for me. I would love to trash a card. I don't think I'm going to... They have a Valentina. I don't think we're going to be sticking tags enough to IP enforcement, so let's get rid of this now. Let's just install 4 cards. A Penny Shaver Valentina is gonna do pretty good work against us. Maybe Valentina is just a card you run nowadays. We don't have a Magistrate. I'd love a Magistrate here. They probably do get an agenda. Which turns on Oppo, but we don't have Oppo. They get Crypto. Okay, let's trash this so I can res the Spin Doctor. Let's start turn. I don't think I'm keeping 2 tags. Let's triple advance this. Score. Powers that be can go and grab that back, and then let's just do a small Oppo. Just to keep them busy. I know this doesn't do very much. I am aware, but it does take them clicks. That one literally cost them nothing. Maybe I'm just like cohorting away the second Oppo because it really is not great. They didn't trash anything, so Oppo's not online? I think that might be it for Oppo then. Let's use the spin. Shipment, like a shipment? Okay, well, an IP enforcement in case they do go tag me. Or maybe just 2 Oppos, whatever. There's this. HQ, R&D, Server 1, Hedge Fund. That's a resilient, those are resilient centrals right there if I've ever seen. How do you get in? You can't. I would love to draw 2 cards. Oh no, these centrals, they do not fold to Boomerang. Look at this. This is infrastructure right here. Open market. Okay, that's terrible against Oppo, but Oppo's not online. Let's trash a card. Which doesn't look like shipment's happening in the immediate future. We already have a shipment in the bin, which makes me a bit sad. Do I need money? Do I need hedge fund? Yeah. I don't need hedge fund. Let's do... new emote, new emote, new emote, and then draw. Okay, that's good. EU could be an issue. I would like to draw 2 cards though. It's currently just seeing... oh, you can use the weight counters on it. A magistrate would be really nice. There were 9 agendas, and we've got 4 of them up here, so there's plenty in the bit. There's 5 in there. They do get one, which does turn on Oppo. Big Oppo, in fact. Let's get rid of one of these agendas. I don't really want both of them. Let's go server 9, new emote, archives, and then gain 2 credits. Yeah, big Oppo. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, Wage Workers is so awesome. Has anyone noticed this? Also, this is going to be the world's saddest Vic who can't clear a big Oppo with Valentino installed. Vic is a lot worse at clearing big Oppo than small Oppo. I'm happy to res this. I could trash their resources now. Trashing Valentina at least sounds pretty good to me. And I have a Wage Workers click to do it with. Let's do federal fundraising. Magistrates and public access plazas all sound really nice. Maybe that's better than trashing Valentina. Yes, I'll draw a card. Yes, I'll turn a card face down. I don't really need to. Maybe money is better. Let's advance, advance, advance. Install res score. Tomorrow's headline is going to give me 2 credits. Magistrate, they're going to lose 3 credits. And then the install can be like VSA in front of the magistrate. These are powerful plays. We are doing powerful things. There's no doubt about that. We are doing some seriously powerful things. We didn't trash their stuff, so Valentina's still going to be juicing them value. But I think it's like fine. We don't need them to be hella tagged. There was a line there where I triple advanced, gave them the tag, they were on 2 tags. I pull back the embedded and then I shipment it. I missed that. I had a 4-point line there. Do you guys catch that? I had the powers. And the it would have had a counter too. Okay, this feels much more powerful. Disc Elemental found it. I guess it's just faster than me. Ah, the crew. The fabled crew that everyone thinks is good in Vic, even though I think it's definitely not. Alright, let's Federal first, I guess. Some Regoliths sound good. Embedded sounds okay. Could chuck an Embedded behind Drafter, seems fine. One of each. And yes, I'll draw them. Let's trash a card. I don't need the second Magistrate. That seems like overkill. The Pap is also probably not needed. So we can do Embedded, Server 9. New emote. And then let's just res and click Wage Worker, Regolith with our Wage Workers. It's not more than a credit, but it means the Regolith is res for next turn, and they're definitely not trashing it. Admittedly, a lot of things feel powerful when the runner doesn't interact with your board. Well, I think I found the reason why they're not interacting with our board. Their hand is full of tranquilizers, which they just put on our ping, which is a very funny thing to do. I would like to res a ping for free. I would like to gain 2 credits. There was nothing on top of R&D, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure if de-resing this ping is gonna, like, change that much for you. Tonia. Okay, we're about to kill this guy, unfortunately. They're on a tag. So we'll get the money here. Nothing else I need to do at start of turn. Probably powerful things I can do here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the lines that cause them to happen. Starlet Oppo Drafter. Oppo seems okay. It's not active, actually. Drafter, I mean, these are all good. And none of them can be trash. So I don't think it matters too much because I'm not actually playing any of them. Let's just draw the Oppo, whatever. Let's put it Starlet, this, done. Draw a card. I think no. No point in letting them dig through R&D a bit. Whatever, let's draw cards. Let's trash a card. Don't need this Regolith, no way. I can triple advance this Embedded. I guess I should have... Yeah, whatever. This is going to put them down to 0 credits. Magistrate. Then you can just grab this Embedded and put it in server 9. And then let's just take money from this Drafter. So from this Regolith. Seems like we're in a pretty good spot here. There are some agendas on R&D. There's only 8 cards left in R&D. So that means there's... There's 8 points on our side of the board, 4 points on theirs. That's 12. There's 20 in the decks. Of those 8 cards, 3 of them are agendas. They can't actually afford to get any of them, though. Because the Magistrate is installed. So we're good. Magistrate is a lot of backbone here. You guys enjoying R Plus streams? I just saw my fiance take an oven tray out of the oven with her bare hands. I thought you were going to just burn yourself.
I've turned it on right
Okay.
now.
Alright, we won. That was cool. Opponent did not do anything at all. but it's good. Yeah, so opponent says there's more synergy between corp cards than runner cards. Better than the Melia streams? Ah, don't say that. How does this fare if your opponent opens on Fueno or Azmat? Or worse. But we didn't need nearly all this stuff to stick. We only need like a small number of these things to stick. This was way overkill, our board state. We did most of these cards were not actually helping us in a meaningful way. If you don't have your Icebreaker, what can you do? I was finishing up soon because I got my lesson in a bit. Oh, fiance wants to use the blender. May need to put you on mute while that happens. Opponent's asking, if you don't have your Icebreaker, what can you do? In this case, my ice is cheap, so it's not so good. You need more money and card draw to find the stuff you need. Yeah, they've kind of full spec'd in on like the Vic synergy package where everything is like tag related, which is like interesting. It's fun to do big synergy packages, but as a runner, you don't really need to. What econ did they play? So yeah, they are probably still learning bits and pieces, but hey, maybe we get to put 1,000 cards on the board. I'm going to play no more games, I think, actually, because I've got a lesson in a little bit, and we should rest my voice a little bit before then, and I believe dinner's on the way also. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream. That was a pretty chill one. Bit of fun. Let's not talk about the disaster at the beginning. Let's focus on the fact that I think the scoring list is actually pretty cool. I need to figure out what I'm going to play for Continentals. I think I'm going to go to Nottingham. Anyway, have a good evening or morning to the Americans, and yeah, goodbye. See ya.